This is a voice from the heart for America, for its shining cities and silent countryside, a warning, an invitation. If America is to be saved in these last days, there are 5 essential things it needs to do right now. Listen carefully, because this is not a theory. It is a call to wake up, to turn around, and to live the truth that Christ taught. Imagine that from Times Square in New York to the National Mall in Washington, from the bustling streets of Los Angeles to the silent farms of Iowa, the voices of prayer could rise like a rising tide. Let your hearts be opened, because this is not a time for pride but a time for humility. First, the world is fading from the light of truth. People are chasing power, money, technology, fame. Silicon Valley sets new definitions of what it means to be human, and yet many in the suburbs of Texas or Detroit remain lost in loneliness. But the history of humanity, and the history of salvation, always begins with a wake-up call. The wake-up call is not a slogan, it is a call from within the soul. Come home. In the skyscrapers, in the abandoned churches, in the small apartments of Chicago, there are souls who are suddenly aware of the emptiness of material life. Whoever you are, a congressman on Capitol Hill, a student studying in Boston, a farmer in Nebraska, the wake-up call can reach you. Don't wait for a major crisis to wake up. Let the wake-up call begin today with a heartfelt prayer, an hour of silence before the Bible, and a small act of change. From the source of the darkness that humanity sees, we must understand the root. Sin is not just a personal error but a power that permeates culture, media, and politics. On television, in social media timelines, in prestigious university halls, old ideas of morality are overturned, and freedom is praised as an idol without seeing the consequences. In Los Angeles, where the entertainment industry produces role models, people reward stories that glorify the mundane. In Washington, people easily put power above reason. On Wall Street, money becomes the measure of human success. These shadows are not invisible. They are hidden by rules, by habits, and by fear of losing status. If America is to be saved, it must admit that the darkness spreads from the human heart to the institutions, and from the institutions back again, forming a vicious cycle. Recognizing the root cause is the first step to breaking the chains. The spread of sin today has many faces: indifference to the poor in Houston's shopping malls, political pride atop Capitol Hill, indifference to life in local jails, and a tech industry that uses algorithms to amplify hatred instead of healing. But it is there, in the cracks of society, that God calls us to respond with practical love. We cannot just talk about virtue in church and then turn our backs on the trash collector on the streets of Seattle or the homeless man under a bridge in San Francisco. Salvation is not just a personal matter, it is a restoration of community. Americans need to remember the mercy that made this nation, caring for widows, orphans, foreigners, reclaiming dignity for the abandoned, healing families devastated by addiction and manipulation. This is not just temporary charity, it is a way of life, a revolution of kindness. When we speak of the cross, we remember more than a symbol. It is a reminder of sacrifice, of giving up selfish things to bring about resurrection. In the heart of every city, whether on the banks of the Hudson or in the hills of Appalachia, there are people willing to bear their personal crosses, to give up petty power, to suffer for what is right, to choose justice over profit. The cross of our time may take the form of a doctor at a community hospital in Miami refusing to participate in immoral practices. It may be a teacher in Atlanta who persists in teaching moral values in the midst of a chaotic classroom. It may be a legislator in Olympia making decisions for the weak. Christians are called to live the cross, to deny themselves, to serve, to suffer for the sake of others, and that is the path to national transformation. As we look toward the end times, the words of Scripture ring out as a warning but also a comfort. There are signs, but do not let fear overwhelm us. Let faith guide your actions. The signs may be economic upheaval, increased natural disasters, and the breakdown of institutions. In Florida, hurricanes are stronger. In California, wildfires rage. In the Midwest, crops fail. In big cities, social unrest. All of these are reminders that time is limited. But the Bible does not.